Hey, we should be live. I'm going to just go ahead and check the audio over on YouTube. And thank you so much for being here. Today is going to be a fun one. We're going to paint, finally. Sorry for the delay. I actually should have made it way earlier, but I took my time a bit. So, yeah, how are you doing? Let me know. I think it's going to be fun to do some very loose experimentations today. I didn't even have paper hand yet. I had to cut some now. So here we go. Doing it. I am now am hearing myself live, which means the audio is good. So let me mute this thing, and hopefully the quality is decent enough. I'm gonna fix my camera a bit. There we go. Everything looks fine. We're gonna work small sizes. Because this is kind of, again, experimentation. I'm actually going to start with this first thing you're seeing on the screen right now, which is this pen. I think it's a good subject. I'm going to just throw kind of a quick Instagram story to let people know I've gone live, because I don't think I talked about this live stream enough. Let me see. I just need to get the link. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Share, copy link, Instagram story. Live now. Live now. There we go. Hope you're doing well. Let me know in the comments. Now I see. Oh, now I see you. Hey, Laura. Hey, Tiny Face McGee. Hope you're doing well. Happy to have you here today. Will finally be the thing a lot of people have been waiting for, which is for me to stream some painting process. Join here. Let me also mute my phone while I'm at it. And we are almost ready to go. I hope you're doing well. Hope you are painting, creating. I have a really big video. There we go. We got it. I have a really big video planned out. Very hopefully educational, as you'll see. Discussing. Let me zoom in a bit. Discussing color harmony. That's going to be Saturday's video. I hope you'll enjoy that one. Hey, Laura. Good morning, evening. Hey, Tiny Face McGee from Maine. Sabrina. Hey, Dwayne, my friend. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Let's get to it. I'm going to need my pencil. Who knows where it is? I mean, it should be right here, but there we go. Okay. So I'm going to do a real quick sketch here, and I'm going to open up the stream so that I see you and my reference. So let's see if I can get that done. It's been a while since I did things like that on my Mac. For the Proco live streams, if you got to catch them live, I simply printed the photo, so I had no need for that. Here we go. Yeah, I can see you. Okay, cool. Now, how do I hear Melanie? Hi, Liron. It's holiday here in the US, Thanksgiving. I'm thankful to you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it is Thanksgiving, right? That's like the worst day I could choose for a live stream, but that's fine because people are probably getting prepared for the holiday. But yeah, happy holiday. Hope you have a good one. I hope you stuff the turkey and eat some really nice food. And yeah, I'm just gonna get started here. And of course, I can definitely take questions, anything you want to ask. This is your opportunity for sure. About the process, about this process, about anything at all. I'm just gonna play around with the light. There we go. It needs to be cooler. I like warm light, but I was thirsty. Time of day dictates it's better to use cool light. Marjorie, today's Thanksgiving here and another day to count all my blessings. Liron, one of them has been watching you become the painter. I know you could. Thank you for taking us on your journey. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Is that Ruth I'm hearing at the door? Let me go check. Just make sure. No, it's not. Okay, fine. If he wants to join, she'll come later. Okay. And on to it. Now, so I'm going to get started with a quick sketch. We have the marble or the surface down here. We have this kind of an apologies for the bit of light shining on the, a bit of shadow shining on the paper. Really can't be helped as I'm using some artificial lighting. There we go. The fun thing is when you paint like I'm going to paint in a second, you really don't know what will come out of it. Kind of a hit or miss thing, but sometimes you can create something really cool. Now, because of perspective, these lines are going to fan out. Hi, I'm Sun Wook from Seoul. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I am happy that you wrote your name. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to read the username in Korean. Thank you so much. So there we go. I'm going to place down some of these tiles. Oh, something like that. Oh, thank you so much. LLB Brief. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. I see all the letters connected in really small letters. I enjoy learning from you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support as well. Really appreciate it. Tiny Face McGee, I wish your realism class was a book too, with lots of simple shapes and value exercises. Yeah, you know, that may be something that'll come in the future. It could very well happen. But yeah, it's funny that I still don't have a book about watercolor painting. Now, this is fun. So notice how I'm just throwing a couple of lines, and maybe you can, I think they are visible. And already you get a feeling like you're looking down at something, which is really cool. And then I'm going to start with the pen itself. So it's going to be somewhere around here from the bottom. And then I think it's about this large. So this, and then I'm going to take this measurement, which is going to go like that. So that's one edge, and then the other. And that way I kind of get a somewhat of an accurate circle. There we go. And we're going to drop that handle like so. Now here's the fun part. Kate, you're Liron. Happy to see you fresh and wealthy. We'll review this video after work so I can practice. Thank you for your work. Thank you so much, Kate. Much appreciated. Now here's something fun to note. This here, this distance is smaller, shorter than this distance, okay? Just something to note. There's a bit of a difference there because we're looking from slightly from above, okay? So something like this. That is going to have some importance once we start putting in the paint. We have these interesting shadows that are kind of going around, and then some highlights in the middle, and then more highlights that spread kind of towards us. Now, one thing to remember with these kinds of scenes and paintings is we're going to gradually build it up, even if it looks a little ridiculous at first. Hopefully, we can see past the illusions, so to speak, and get something that looks good. And now we have a cast shadow here and a cast shadow there. So in essence, this is all one. Yeah, I almost got it right. Where's my eraser? There we go. This here. There we go. This is all one big shadow. So kind of like this and this. These are all shadows, so it's going to be fun. Most of this is in the shadow too. Very messy. Hopefully we'll be able to base something off of it. I am going to start with the pen, I think. I'm going to really focus on that first. So let me figure out my materials. Let's start with this Skoda brush. And this is the moment where it gets really fun. So I'm going to use whatever I have on the palette. That's a big part of just experimenting with painting this way. I'm going to start quite strong. I do like the warmth that I already have here on the palette, which is essentially my kind of burnt umber, burnt sienna kind of color I have here. And I like the idea of kind of starting slow sometimes and accurate, even though I like to often go crazy with my paintings. could surprise some that I like to sometimes start a little focused. So something like this. And then I know this looks quite dark, but this is actually the lighter half. And then on the left, we're going to start putting in wet and wet to make it even darker. And it may be hard to see, but let me see if I can show you the nuance there. See, the left side is going to be even darker. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. If not, you will see it in the scan for sure. And I'll do my best to kind of look at the chat simultaneously, but if I miss something, don't worry. I'll, of course, address it later on. I think while I'm at it, let me just kind of put in some of these darker shapes. And this is, I know this is really strange, kind of the other way around of putting in some kind of shadows within a shadow, kind of skipping a lot of what would be considered best practices. But this is, again, this is the thing with experimenting this way. I kind of want to get a feel for this scene and see what I can create here, just like that. This goes down, and there's a circle around it. This is our kitchen, of course, if you were wondering. And you see I'm starting to define some shapes. Now, this here feels quite, some of it feels a little cool. So I'm going to add some blue. And again, I'm going to do a video soon. Saturday, it's going to be out. One of my more educational videos that I've ever made. Really, I don't know how I got the patience to do such a thing, but it's going to be good for that. So if you're looking for something more pedagogic, you'll get it. Now, I'm going to go wet here because I want to make sure I have enough time to react to what's going on paper. So let's see what we can do here. While not really taking it too seriously, you see I'm going to let things kind of flow. And we'll see what we get. OK. Now here I feel like I need to introduce a bit of a more violet-y feeling. I don't know how, but I'm seeing something like that here. This goes up to here. This kind of goes warm, actually. So this goes a little warm. Now, and it's still nothing, right? You're looking at it. It's a mess, and that is fine. That's the whole point of experimenting this way. I'm going to add some warmth here within the coolness. And in fact, let me go ahead and add some warmth to this area surrounding the pan. It is the pan still, but, you know. And I'm going to bring back, you know, any highlights that I'm missing, any critical stuff like that. I'm going to very easily bring back in a couple of moments. Yeah. And then this goes kind of neutral, warm, I don't know. Again, we're experimenting here. Let me do this. Let me pre-wet this area a bit, just so that I can control that soft edge, like so, and then come back and start injecting more color into it. There we go. And this is a shadow, right? As I mentioned earlier, casting from the top. And I think as we move down here, I'm just going to start blending things around, just making this a light kind of opening of the pen. And then we have a cast shadow that's quite warm. So let me see if I can mix something that feels right. I think this feels right. But let me get a smooth edge first. So we're going kind of against the normal routine order. I'm going to pre-wet this area well so that I can get a soft edge once I put in the shadow, which is right now. And I may have to go back and darken it later on, the shadow that is, but we'll see. So now we have this cast shadow, right? So already it kind of looks cool, you know, when I think about it. It starts to take shape, which I like. Dwayne, thank you so much. When I paint, I'm finding myself asking, how would Liron handle this? I've learned a lot from you. Thank you for sharing your skills with us and teaching us about watercolor painting. Thank you so much. You're super kind today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kate, for encouraging people to like. Jan Zarte, greetings, Liron and fellow artists. Happy Thanksgiving to fellow USA watchers. Thank you so much. Let me just make sure. Settings, audio. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good. I was scared for a second we're using the wrong audio device. Thank you so much, Dwayne. Really appreciate it. That is so cool. Now, while this is still wet, we're going to go crazy. I'm going to remove one layer because this is crazy time. I'm going to work on the background using a big brush. So I am going to have some warmth here. The background is quite warm, but I'm going to keep it light still because I want some flow. Now, look, I'm painting above these darks, okay? I'm going to do it very gently with one swoosh. I'm not going to mess around with it too badly. As you can see, it might reawaken some spots. That is fine. For the most part, it should work. Something like this. And as we move down, I'm going to warm it up a bit because this wall is not white as well. Now, I think a cool way to portray it, let me see if I can get this to look good. So I'm going to have the the tile pattern showing. You'll see later on, but let me get it kind of carefully painted. I'm going to leave a bit of a highlight here for the tiles to connect. And it's going to look really, really good later on. You'll see. Even though it's a subtle difference, it's going to make sense. You're going to love this. So there it goes. And of course, everything I'm doing right now is subject to the need to darken more as we progress. It may happen. We may need to get this to be darker. Who knows? So here we go. Leaving these little white gaps. And as for the marble surface granite, I'm going to start with some kind of a muted orange. See if we can get it in kind of almost one go. There we go. Okay. Now, of course, I can darken this, and I will have to. So, you know, let's do it now. Let's kind of darken it. It's going to have to be much, much darker. So I'm just bringing in everything I have here just to see what I'll end up mixing. And we'll start darkening it. Sometimes I'm fine with just letting things dry and seeing where we'll come out of them once dry. You know, we might as well just mix. Let me pre-wet some of these palette pens just to make sure the flow is good. And okay, good. So we have this dark orange. Let's see if we can get this done with this round. Maybe we can get this lower part to be dark enough in one go. It's okay if we don't get it, but I mean, it may be possible. And I do see a bit of a highlight there. So maybe I'll leave a bit of a light space here for, I don't even know what it is. It would make sense to leave the highlight here, if anything. So let's do something like that. Almost hinting that we have this, you know, highlight here. And you know what? I'm going to let this dry and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But as you see, things start to happen, right? The key things I'm seeing we're going to need is making this shadow more obvious, bringing out more shadows here. And yeah, this is going in a good direction. Let me, and by the way, if you have any questions, now is a great time because I'm going to soon take a quick break from painting. I do want to perhaps establish some darks here because they're going to be accompanied by lights in a second. And you know what? You could establish some of the lights now. wet and wet if you want to, because I do see a bit of lightness. I wonder if it will last if I'm going to place it now wet and wet. Let's see. Let's do that, and then later on we can do more with a white gel pen if needed. I want to kind of test this out. This is part of our experimentation here. So there's a highlight of the tile reflected here. And there is, generally speaking, this line going across. If it's going to get erased once this is dries, that's fine. If it will last, that is also fine. There we go. It's just a cool little effect to try and achieve and see if it makes sense later on. But you know what? The thing with this kind of a first wash is it's speaking, right? It's not stale. It moves. There's interest there. And that's what I like in my watercolors. I like when there's movement and when there's a dynamic feel to it. And very often this is a compromise between control and that. And you know what? Sometimes relinquishing that control is the thing you need most, right? And let's see, do I want to loosen up? Yeah, I'm going to need to loosen up some of these and to perhaps lift. Let's see how we fare here. These should all be soft edge, and I kind of was focused on the lower section, so I didn't get to lift them. As you've just seen, we have no problem here simply using opaque paint mixed together with the rest. Though I think the impression is there, so I wouldn't stress too much about it. Tinyface McGee, I feel like I'm getting worse, not better. Should I go back to basic drawing for a bit? Any ideas? Yeah, it's interesting. I would be curious to see your results, Tinyface. Because what you call getting worse could be just developing, and it could be a stage along the path. But from the way you say it, it sounds to me like you don't like your results as much, which may mean that something is taking you away from either the things you enjoy painting, or the headspace where you enjoy what you're making. So I would kind of ask myself, what changed, if anything? Are you painting the things you like? Are you painting something because you want to paint it, or because you feel like you have to in order to continue progressing, or just in order to fill time and paint something? You know what I mean? I would kind of look into that in this direction. I see, by the way, crazy beautiful view from the window. So I have to take a picture of that. Sorry. It's a really nice time of day, I have to say. Yeah, there we go. That could be a painting. That could be an interesting painting even. We'll see. That's pretty much how I get all my references to paint. I just see something I like, immediately snap a photo. So yeah. Kate, by the way, what is that brush you're using? Is it from Animal Farm? If so, does Animal being hair cutted for this, or if you know that is stirring you so much? Yeah, I think that's a synthetic one. Both of these I think are synthetic. I don't really enjoy it. Could be a mix, but I think it's synthetic. I don't really enjoy natural hair as much anyway. I used to, but not anymore. It's too soft. I actually prefer the what do you call it? The synthetics. Just not the really. Some synthetics are terrible. It feels like plastic. This is not one of them. But yeah, I don't think it's natural or squirrel or anything like that. Hopefully, but I do have a lot that are. So yeah, my apologies. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really tempted to start working on the pen itself. Kind of looking at it and figuring out if there is an interesting pattern. So what I see is these areas are darker, top left and bottom right. So that's definitely something I want to put an emphasis on. And I think that's what we'll do, you know? Let's see what we can come up with. Let's see. I'm going to need a small brush and a bit of a neutral mix here. The black paint can help me with the neutral mix, I think. It's even a bit warm. I think it's neutral warm. Let's see if it's not too early. I think it's not too early. I think this is dry. Let me do a little test run here, see what happens. Yeah, I think we're good. We're in the clear. So I'm going to pre-wet with a tiny little brush. Don't ask me why. But that's the brush I'm going to use to pre-wet. Just because I already have the tiny brush in hand. And then I'm going to get a soft edge here. And just by darkening this area alone, this will start hopefully making more sense and kind of falling into the shape it should have. That's usually how these things work. So let's see if we can take it, one step at a time closer to what we want. Again, painting the way I'm painting right now is very high risk, high reward kind of a scenario. You don't really know what you're going to get. This is a nice little orangey worm here. Let me try and recreate that. So you never really know exactly what you're going to get. But if you do a good enough job, it tends to work nicely. So there's another edge here to pre-wet, I think. I think this area should be pre-wetted. And then I'm going to go over this thing here, like so. And you see it starts to feel like light. And I would say here as well, I could kind of start placing in some values. There we go. Stopping right here on time, neutralizing a bit. So let's do it real aggressively with the blue and kind of cool this off a bit. So there we go. Hopefully that will make sense. Let's see here. And then this top left area, once again, should be stronger. So let me see. Just going to drop some lines here and see what happens. And then there's this thing going all around the edge. So I'm going to get that too. And then this continues down through here. But it kind of gets blurred around here. And a bit of blue here near the edge. I'm going to exaggerate that a bit because it looks nice. There we go. And while I can, let me make sure I have any water left here, kind of escape this area. Smoothen out that edge too. Yeah. And I think that's a nice little chunk of details. Now, the really important part is going to be to bring out and there's highlights, there's stuff, don't worry, we're going to get to them. But it's going to be to put things in the context of this pen. The shadow it casts, everything has to be darker to justify the highlights, make them make sense. So we're going to give this a few more seconds because it's quite wet before I can bring out more of these details. And you're going to see these white areas we left earlier are going to be chef's kiss. So let me see. Henny, hey, yay, a paint along. Unfortunately, I'm supposed to be working, so I can't paint along, though I did some lino printing at lunch, which I'm currently obsessed with. I don't know what that is. That sounds cool. And Icy Hall says, and by the way, thank you so much for being here. Icy Hall, the color variants in this are beautiful. Nice pen. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a pen, but it's interesting. Laura, I've started a project which involves 2 coordinating paintings, both larger than I have ever done, half a sheet each. Other than keeping to a limited palette to keep them similar, any suggestions? 2 two coordinating paintings, both larger. Yeah, so it depends on like what the person you're painting this for wants. I think a cool idea would be to play around with the colors that you're using, like with the harmony and whatnot. So what you can do is, how am I going to center myself? Okay, like this. So what you can do is use a limited palette, as you mentioned, will make them similar because you're kind of using the same-ish colors. You could also play around with the same color harmonies. So you can play on one theme, like green and red, or orange and blue, or something like yellow, split complementary. You'd call it like a yellow and then a blue and a pink. And have the same play of colors in both paintings, but maybe use it differently. So with one, making the yellows vibrant and making the purples neutral and blues neutral, and with the other, do the other way around. This tends to lead to interesting results. I think you could just generally speaking decide on a criteria and in advance kind of know, okay, I'm going to play to that effect. You know, I always say I don't really have a plan before I get started with a painting, but I do sometimes have a vision or a desire to paint something or to express something. So it's definitely okay if you have that kind of a thing, right? If you start the painting process with some kind of an idea of what would be an interesting harmony between the two paintings, let's say. So just throwing some stuff out there. Hopefully that gives you an idea. If you have more details to share, of course, feel free to, and we can see, because a lot of it does depend on kind of the person you're painting this for. If it's yourself, then, you know, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want. This felt like it needed to be a little stronger here. Like so. There's a difference between this light area and this light. This is really light and this is kind of light. And making that difference was really important here, I think. And then we have this slightly lighter areas. This is slightly darker. We're going to bring back this almost highlight. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, I think we can do this shadow now. I think we can do this shadow. And then I'll continue looking at some of the chat messages. Now, a bit of the fun with painting this way is I don't really care if things don't dry fully. Kind of flying at the seat of my pants, I believe is the saying. So let's see. I could have mixed this in advance, though. That might have been a smart idea, but that's fine. And we're gonna cover. Yeah, that's good. Maybe neutralize just a bit, and start bringing this shadow to be as dark as it needs to be, while maintaining this slice of highlight at the bottom of the pan. It's really important. But this should give it a bit of contrast, I would say, maybe. Yeah. And I'm going to connect this to the details on the tiles here. So while I have this, light comes a bit from the right too. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to shade this side of the tile, just connecting it a bit. Now you see how what this does is the whole thing we just did is it made the pan pop a little more. Just gives it more meaning. I think we'll see. Rafael, hey, I'm from Bangladesh. I've learned a lot from your videos and watch your reels whenever I'm stuck at something. Thank you so much. That's cool. Very happy I could help. I'm seeing some of the messages are cut on this screen for some reason. Sorry, I'm looking over there. Laura, I'm currently playing around with what limited palette I want to use. I might end up emailing you with pics for your input. Yes, definitely do that. Do that. Sanath, hey, which technique you use the most in watercolor painting? Yeah, you know, I don't really look at it in terms of techniques, but the thing I do a lot is wet and wet, just because there's always more details to bring out using wet and wet, you know? There's always more adjustments to make. I have an idea, because this still isn't dry. What I can do is start painting the details of the tiles, believe it or not. So let's go a little more on the gray. Everything is warm, so gray means black, or maybe a bit of blue, just a touch of blue. And I can start painting the differentiation between the tiles. Let's see if we can get this to work. So the light comes from above, so this is a highlight, and right above it is going to be a shadow for where it's dented inwards into the wall. So you'll get something like this. It shouldn't be too strong of a color. Let me even go a little lighter there. But that's going to come above the lighter section, like so. And we can continue with that pattern over here and over on the other side. And you know what? Funny enough, it will start working. You'll see it's pretty crazy how that works. My lines could be more accurate, but that's fine. Now, same for this. I would go like that. I'm rotating it so that I have a bit of an easier time drawing with my brush the straight lines. This should not happen, but that's fine. This goes here up to here, and this goes here all the way up to here. So you see it starts to feel like tiles, right? I'm not crazy. It starts to feel like tiles. So a bit of an extreme angle, but that's fine. That works. And once this area dries, we're going to start feeding it with some nice rich shadows to really close in on the pen. Lakshmi, happy to see you're live. I will practice this. Thank you very much, from Sri Lanka. Awesome, cool. Janzard, it's looking great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Tiny Face Mickey, do you think I'm suffering from interference? I'm thinking too much about the final product. Yes, I think anytime you think about the final product, you can be interested in the final product. You can enjoy the process that leads to the final product. But if you're actually thinking about it, wondering while you're painting, how is it going to turn out? What kind of a result am I going to get? If you're doing that kind of a thing, it 100% takes you away from the process itself. 100%. So it's going to make a difference, usually perceived negatively, because you're not in it truly and fully. And that's going to take away some of your faculties and ability to concentrate on what you're doing. And I think maybe exploring why it is that you care about the end result, not in a judgmental, negative way. Why? Really ask yourself, why do I care about the end result? There is a reason for that. It could be that you're trying to achieve something, right? And so you care about it. I'm all for, caring about something is not a bad thing, but I do think it needs to be looked at with sober eyes. So if you really care about, let's say, what people think of you, right? Generally speaking, not even related to art, it's fine. I'm not going to tell you stop doing that, because how would you stop doing that? But I think the way out, so to speak, is to really look into it and find out why you care so much about what other people think of you. Or in this example, why do I care so much about how this painting is going to end up looking? If you're painting something for a contest, if you're building a portfolio to get into art school, well, you found your reason, right? Maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's a possibility. But if it's something else, it's something else. That's where I would be looking. And maybe there's something you can hack to kind of forget that for a while and just paint. Because, I also get these weird grooves where I get in a loop of thinking about something that is not just the painting process purely. And it does influence the end result, of course. So it happens to me too. And when it happens, I usually end up getting out of it somehow without doing much. Usually, if you don't work hard to get there and to find your trouble, you don't have to work hard to get rid of them. So yeah, it does happen to me too. and then I kind of change my focus a bit, go to sleep, do something else, and the next session I'm fine. So yeah, it will depend on a lot of factors, but I think that's a good spot to start looking, and hopefully you're able to dive deeper on that and figure that out. I really hope you will, and let me know. Keep me posted on that. Which paper are you using now? This is, I'm pretty sure that's Saunders Waterford. I can check because I have it here. Oops, that's my water bottle. Sorry about that. Yep, it is Saunders Waterford. I don't know if you can see. It says it here, but it's really hard to see. You can see it mirrored. Maybe. No, you can't. It says here Saunders Waterford. It's a bit hard to see. Maybe like this, you'll be, yeah. I think this is better. There we go. Okay. So it says Saunders Waterford in mirror writing. So yeah, that's what it is. There we go. I have a couple of paintings I'm working on that I'm really looking forward to completing. By the way, 50 people here. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Rafael, I've learned from you that nothing is actually white, but now I'm struggling with warm and cool shadows. Can you please suggest some ways to detect warm and cool colors? Yeah, I'm going to talk about it a bit in the video coming out Saturday, but a lot of it is contextual, right? So here, because I took this photo in relatively warm light at night, everything is warm here. But then that makes the just clean black look like a cool color. So it's contextual. Now, the thing is, you get to decide, right? You get to decide if something will be kept as cool or warm as you see it. I often paint simply. Why does it stop playing? I don't get it. Live. I often paint simply based on what's the word I'm looking for? Like relationally. So I know that this is cooler than that. And I'm fine if I don't get the exact absolute coolness or warmth on a, let's say there's a scientific scale from 0 to 100. I'm fine if I don't get the absolute numerical level of cold or warm, as long as things relationally work, as long as things make sense, in relations to one another, if that makes sense. Now I'm seeing quite a bit here that I would like to adjust in a couple of seconds. Let me see. I'm seeing something here that I want to change before we move on. I did plan to start with something else, but this bit here, this area of the shadow is a little stronger, believe it or not. It starts a little darker, and it kind of joins into this rounded shape. And then it starts to fizzle out and go lighter. So that's something that it is important to show. Every little adjustment you make like this ends up kind of improving it usually, if you read it correctly, of course. And it's very easy to get lost in the, in the small details and kind of optical illusions that are very present here. And then this is a bit of a red. I'm going to pull this down here. There we go. And once I'll feed it some highlights that I kind of missed or skipped, it's going to start making a bit more sense in other areas too. But we'll get there. Yes, and then this here is quite neutral. Once again, there's a bit of darker paint. So let's see what we can do here. This goes dark, and then this goes dark too. The outside kind of rim goes dark. And then this goes quite dark again. And underneath it, there's a bit of a dark area. Let's see if I can get that down here very gently, I think. There we go. You see, it starts to make sense, I think. Yeah, that works. Now, this is way too, this kind of annoys me that it's really soft edged. I was focused so much on creating a soft edge, I kind of exaggerated the softness. So let's sharpen this edge up a bit, believe it or not. Not something I usually have to do or worry about, but let's make this edge a little more defined. I think it will end up doing it a service. There we go. Same here. Yep, okay. And then really important, you see, this is what I mean when I say exploration, right? I have to put something on paper in order to really figure out if it was the right move or not, right? If it was a mistake. And I think if you can kind of get over yourself and just do this, like I'm doing it live in front of an audience, so even more to lose if I mess up, quote unquote. But if you can just in the privacy of your room do these experiments, this is too dark. You'll get somewhere for sure. You'll get somewhere. Now this is mostly dry, so I'm going to switch focus here. I'm going to use this Michael Soloviev brush. I need something that has great capacity, but also can cover up large areas. And we're going to start defining this shadow around here. And we'll let this dry. We'll see how it dries. I feel like I'm missing something that we'll find later on, especially around this area. Like it should be light, but something there tells me maybe I'll have to. We'll see. We'll see. And in any case, this is just, again, a first kind of attempt to explore and better understand the subject matter. So all of this is in the shadow, right? I'm starting with this quite warm shadow. Let's go even lighter here. And let's define where the shadow ends. So it's going to be somewhere around here. And it continues here. There we go. Now, we're not done. I'm going to go a little more neutral on the kind of top areas here. So I'm coming back with some just black paint. Like so. Neutralizing this. And you know, I kind of like it. So I am okay with that. I'll go a little more neutral down below as well. It's okay. Feels like my chair is creaking. Feels like it's a little too warm even. And then this goes here. This is a loose edge, relatively. Let's see if I want to climb that mountain and loosen it up. Let's see. Because I didn't pre-wet it on purpose, because I knew it's going to take me a while to get there. But you know what? Looks like it works. There we go. And this can be loosened up as well, but this definitely has to be a stronger shadow. And we kind of were getting it. Now, I would argue, I think this could be a little stronger, but I don't want to go overboard here. Everything, this could be stronger and this could be stronger, but I think I will just kind of let it go for now. We'll figure it out later. For now, let me bring out some details within the shadows. I feel like this would be interesting. So the top of this, whatever that is, holder is a little darker. I'm essentially taking advantage of the fact this area is wet now. Then some of these areas are darker too. And we do have some sockets here. If I can kind of hint at the details. There we go. And within that, we do have some strong darks for the actual holes. Let's see if we can get those to look nice in one go. Yep, I think that will work for now. Do I need to darken these? You know, I'm going to do just a real quick pass over them. We have this here. There we go. That should be fine for now. Now I feel like I have to let it sit for a few moments to figure it out. I really like this area, but I think we might just let this one go for now and try another thing. I feel like this is a good enough development. I'll just do some highlights. That's the one thing. I'll do some highlights to bring this to completion first. Let's see what I missed here. Yakon, I kind of understand something about using AI to analyze my work, but I don't understand the question fully. So if someone can translate, let me know. Laura, watching this process always amazes me. Thank you. Marshmallow, Face Wiggy, how long do you paint for every day? What is your daily practice? Yeah, it's not really daily. It's very hard to say. Some days I don't paint at all. Other days I may paint a lot. To me, it's really how I feel like and what my other work kind of allows me to do, because I do a lot of other things in the context of my art, you know. So I don't have anything daily. I'm fine if you do. Some people like it. Some people find it useful. I'm adding some details here. Some people find that it's useful for them. I'm not really one of these people. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really have like a daily thing set in stone. But if I had to guess, like weekly, I don't know, at least 6 hours or so. Used to be more. Sometimes it used to be less. Now I'm a little busy with, you know, family stuff. So maybe a little bit of a decrease, though I'm able to work really well. Relatively speaking, I'm good. So yeah, let's add some highlights and kind of see where that takes us. I like the idea of using the white gel pen. So if I am able to find it, I mean, where would it be? I don't take it anywhere. It just stays here on my desk. So I do wonder why it's not here. Maybe it's a little gnomes come here at night and grab my stuff. Let's see. I mean, I have a couple of them. I can just go get another one. But where is it hiding? Where is my white gel pen hiding? Let me take a quick tour. I have a treadmill I just got to put under my new standing desk. Man, it's a mess. Do I have one here? Yeah, okay, good. There we go. I'll use a new one. Thank you so much, John, who purchased me a bunch of these for me as a gift. So now I can use, I always have one handy. There we go. So here we have a couple of highlights. Now, if you want a loose highlight, I just place it in with the white gel pen and then kind of do this, and it works. But what I like most here is the scratches. There's tons of scratches on this pen. We really need to throw it out. I think we already have, possibly. All of these scratches going from side to side, that's really cool. Really cool and unhealthy to cook in. Something like that, I think. Oh, here there's a really strong highlight, actually. So let me go ahead and make this stronger. Let me make this stronger. Now, these are relatively thick lines because this is a small piece. If I were to paint this larger, of course, they would have a bit more of a balance with the rest. This here is a strong highlight. What does it contrast with? Okay, there's a bit of a shadow there. I got it. I know what it contrasts with. I'll maybe be able to get it soon. In here, there's a bit of a highlight. So the idea is I'm going to place all of these details and hope that it makes things connect better. There's no guarantee, but usually if you just kind of follow what you're seeing, even if the result isn't fantastic or really good looking, it starts to make more sense. Usually, not always. There are no guarantees here. But I think it's a decent enough work, especially for just exploration, kind of figuring out what we want with this scene. So it's a success. So yeah, I think this looks good. Has this scratched pen look. This should still be lighter. Let me see here. It should start thin and go a little thicker, something like that. There we go. There's some dust here too, so I'm just going to spread out some dots here. And yeah, I think we're good. I wouldn't want to add too much here. There are a bit of highlights in the shadow, but of course I'm going to need these to be super gentle because it can't be lighter than what's in the light. So it's a risk to even consider placing them in, but that's fine. Yeah, I think I'm good. This works for me. We can do maybe another quick one. I'm going to look at some of your messages, and then we'll do another quick one. Oh, I read everything. Okay, sorry, it's Spanish again. Can I translate it live? Let's see. Can I translate it in StreamYard? Yeah, I can't. Sorry about that. I can do that. But something about Guatemala. An idioma Maya de Guatemala. Okay, so it's a Mayan idiom from Guatemala. Lo menciono en el contexto de que uno audiovisual no tiene su consejo ideal. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I don't know how to comment. My apologies. Let's do another real quick one. Let's see what I have here in my reference folder. You can see my face from back here. So I have this one. This would be interesting, but it's a bit involved. I have this one. I'll probably go with this one. No, I don't feel this one. You know what? Let's go with this one. I don't know, crazy, but whatever. We can do this. We can do this. Let's see. So, you know, I said I'm going to try and make things more abstract. Here's our chance. So now if you've been to a couple of live streams, you know, this is the moment where I decide to go crazy. Sometimes it works. Usually it doesn't work the first time, but it kind of builds up an experience that later on helps me. So we'll see how it goes. And thank you, Yakon. Thank you. So it looks metallic as it should. I'm happy to hear. So we have this, you know, toaster oven, microwave. And let me try and see what I can do here. It's a good opportunity to kind of show you how I sketch stuff out pretty loosely. So there we go. I like to look at the edges of the paper. I look at this distance. Okay, this starts somewhere around here. It's at an angle, and it ends right around the edge of the corner of the paper. So that's one. And then we have this kind of line continues. Then we have the microwave, and then the toaster oven, then the microwave. And then here we have a corner coming out, And here we have the, again, other line. So you see I'm kind of measuring the lines as I go, which is a little, it's not the easiest thing to do, but you're able to do that with some experience. Not a lot, just some experience. And I'm not going to be 100% here. I'm going to be decent enough here. So this goes here, this goes there. This is why sketching tons of boxes does help, just to familiarize yourself with their shape. This goes here, this goes here. And then, hey, Trailer Treasure, hi from Texas, excited to watch. Thank you so much for being here, and happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrate. By the way, once again, really appreciate you being here on a holiday. Okay, yeah, cool. And even though it's early, right? So the holiday is going to start later on. So what are you going to do? What are your plans to those who do celebrate? Are you going to have family over? What's the plan? Let me know as I sketch this scene. So we have the bottle here. I'm going to place that. Holiday season can get quite intense, I know, for a lot of people. So feel free to share also if you're not really looking forward to it. Sometimes with all the travel and family, it's a big mess. So hopefully you are looking forward to it. If you aren't, I know some don't. So yeah, there we go. We have this thing here, and we have, guess what? The pen from earlier, it haunts us, which is going to be here, somewhere around here. Look at how fewer details I'm using with this one. Now I'm going to try and see if I can almost paint this alla prima. Because again, you know, I promise we'll do some abstraction, some crazy stuff. Now is our chance, almost. And let's see, I think the key will be in figuring out the shapes of shadow. I'm going to paint probably the whole thing with just this Skoda brush. As you can see, I don't have a lot of details here. Oh, we have a surprise. For those who are in the stream, the baby. Hello. Hello. It's not Ruth, my apologies. But the baby seems to be having the same approach. Get me off camera. But there we go. Cutie pie. Oh, cutie pie. You're so cute. Yes. There we go. So we have a cameo. Those special 56 individuals who are here got to see the baby. So there you go. Oh, I forgot something. No, it's good. I got the previous one. I was like, did I forget some highlights on the previous one? Never mind. But yeah, there we go. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to catch up with the comments soon. Let me just go ahead and start blocking in some of the details. I'm going to paint the whole thing, as I mentioned, with this single brush. Sometimes it's fun to just paint the shapes. So let's see if, and of course, you know, if I want to go more organized, I'd paint it with slow, meticulous glazes, because this is a bit of a complex, involved scene. So let's see if we can just get it in one go. I don't like this red. It kind of turns it off. I'm going to use this and these yellows. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. Happy you enjoy the cameo. Yeah, she's adorable. She is. I'm so bad sometimes at matching colors. It's really a nightmare. Like, this is not the thing. This is not the right thing. I'll go lighter. I'll add a bit of this lemony yellow. We'll get it at some point after running through 20 test papers. Yes, so this is too orange, more blue to neutralize. That's my problem here. I'm thinking way too orange. So I don't want to neutralize this completely. So let's go with what we have here. And I'm going to try to kind of real-time manage this and see how we do. Okay, that's close. That's close enough. And this is a part of painting this way. I know there are baby comments. I'm going to look at it in a second. Sorry about that. And let's see if I can paint this whole, again, counter thing with one kind of layer. And then I can just establish a few small shadows amidst all of that. So let's see, we do have a bit of that. It should be much weaker. Bit of it here. This is way too strong, but that's fine. Let's see if I can blend this. I have seen this used in some places. You just blend it into the distance and it works. I do think it'll have to be a little more. There we go. A little more on the orange side, orangey side. This goes here. I'm using a really dry brush here just to hint at some reflections that will make more sense once we place the details above, actually. So, yep. And I think this is good for the countertop. It's not perfect. It's actually quite messy, but that's fine. Let's see. I'm going to give it a few seconds to dry. Yeah. I can see those here. Let's see here. Let's see. Friendsgiving in Atlanta, Alicia says, cool. Anna, hi, happy to catch a live stream finally. Thank you so much. Treasure, we don't celebrate in respect for Native Americans. That's cool, but it's nice to be off work. Cool. Jan's art, yeah, Laura. Melanie, we love seeing your baby. Thank you. Cubs win, love seeing a baby, and really enjoy you painting something ordinary that we all have at home. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Tiny Face McGee, I'm avoiding my extended family these holidays. Too much drama. It's bad for the soul. Yeah, I get it. Sabrina, she's really cute. Thank you. Anna, would you say it's possible to paint anything with watercolor? I have bought all the colors, papers, brushes, etc., but I'm having a hard time finding inspiration in. I don't know what the stilben is in nature scenes. If some kind of a scene does not inspire you, just do a different one. I think that's quite obvious, I would say. One of the first things that you should look into and maybe figure out if that's the thing responsible for you not enjoying or not feeling inspired. So, one thing that really helped me at some point was just to start painting scenes from my life. Anytime I'm out, even if it's just for a walk, the pictures I take are much more meaningful. And then if I'm with friends, just hanging out and taking a picture from there, the occasion means more to me. So it will usually amount to a bit of a better painting, if that makes sense. All these little things that, why paint a boring, sterile view that you didn't even take the picture, you have no connection with, you don't care about? I get it. Why would you care about these kinds of things? There's no reason to. I would say, really, this is your place, your kind of sacred place to just go crazy, and really paint whatever you want. As strange as the subject may be to others, and that's a big part of it. A lot of the things I paint feel a little strange or mundane to other people, and that's good. That means I'm kind of painting what I care about in a way. I'm not trying to do that on purpose, but that it does end up happening. And I think that's where inspiration lies, in the things you actually care about. Again, if you paint things that are pretty or good looking, or even things you think would be a good photo to paint, that's another trap I definitely have stepped in many times in the past, like painting things that I think would be easy and accessible to paint. That's really often not the case. The thing you think will be easy is not, and you end up just kind of not feeling whatever it is you painted and not liking it. So I would say this is your place to paint just what you care about. Nothing else. Really nothing else. If you don't care about it, don't even think about painting it. Because that's where a lot of the frustration comes from, you know? That's where a lot of the just, I need to paint thing comes from. Because otherwise, you'd probably be super excited and happy to paint whatever it is you want. So yeah, my 2 cents, you know, I just take tons of photos wherever I am. So many photos, it's scary. And then I don't have any space almost on my iPhone. I'll need to start deleting things really soon. And then I always have something to grab onto and maybe try and paint, you know. I always have an old photo I've never thought of painting or something like that I can just grab, give it a try, you know, see how it turns out. Sometimes it'll be a big hit. Sometimes it's a big miss. It really is just like that. Sometimes, you know, something I would have never imagined myself painting, like some of these scenes actually today, they're very not natural light, right? So in the past, I would paint a lot more of things that are very well lit, natural, strong light. These aren't it. I took these photos at home at evening, night, right? So it's quite dark. And still, I kind of enjoy them right now. Not sure why, you know, because you change as well, not just your art. You change and then your art changes too. It's why these things happen, you know? And whenever I paint just with my gut, it comes out a lot better, as you can maybe tell. I'm going to yellow this up a bit and then kind of neutralize. Just pick up whatever is there, get a bit of that red. I need a very, very pale paint just to contrast with the white of that toaster oven. I actually thought I'd fix the curve here, but that's fine. That's fine. There we go. I think that works for now. I'm gonna do the same for this side. You know, might as well just cover it up and see where this takes us. I do think this is developing quite interestingly. I recognize a lot of this is interesting. This is interesting. I like that a lot. Sometimes it's those scenes you don't expect to work, you know, you just end up working. So yeah, this is a highlight. This is a highlight. There we go. So yeah, and then you can take it from there. I think this is going to be kept mostly white. Maybe I'll just do this very thin coat. But this, I want it to be lighter than the wall, probably. And you know what? You can decide you're not going to give it time to dry. I find that inspiring sometimes. So I'm, again, fully alla prima. Let's see what we get here. So, yeah. So this is not fully dry, which is important to be aware of. Doesn't mean I'll stop, but it is important that we're aware of it. There's a shadow above here. And then this goes into this full-on warm-ish kind of shadow on the wall. And these shadows really do help design the overall, you know, feeling of value, light, shadow in the scene. And look at this beautiful edge that occurs when you don't try, right? When you don't really try too hard. It just happens. Yeah, I really like the feel of this one. Let's see if we can get this champagne-colored bottle that I actually have right here, by the way, so you can see it. It's the same bottle. So I'll start with a white in the center, and I already have this greenish thing here. So let's see if that kind of a thing could work. And you know, by the way this goes, I'll probably end up developing this into a larger painting. So I'll probably paint something based on that because I really am enjoying it. So I have a bit of this green here, a bit of this burnt sienna thingy. You can use these two to neutralize each other. these areas of the bottle are darker because they're facing downwards away from the light. And then as we really move to the sides, we're going to start getting these to be even darker. You see, I'm really going for it almost fully in one go. And then we have the cap, something like this. And let's see, let's give it a couple of seconds. I'm gonna work on the pen here. So I'm gonna keep it simple. We have this shadow. There's a break in the shadow and then it continues. Here I don't have the luxury of having as many details as earlier. So I'm really seeing what I can do to keep this simple. This should be a little darker, of course. And a few of these lines around. So you see different levels of abstraction of a shape, right? Earlier, we've gotten a lot more of the details on it. Now it's just super abstract. And we're going to ever so slightly smoothen out this edge and that edge and this edge and that edge. And the most important bit, arguably, is the shadow underneath. So let's see if I can place that down. It should make sense. Probably went a little too colorful with that shadow, but that's fine. And you see things are starting to dry a little lighter. There we go. Just kind of loosen that up. You see this especially, I like this reflective surface. I wasn't planning on it to turn out like this, but I think it works really well. It's like being on a highway, as I often say. You kind of have to keep going for a while before you can start winding down and seeing, you know, where you're at. I really needed to push through this stage in one go. Let's let this dry for a couple of moments. Then we'll come back, we'll design it. This shadow will be darker. We'll get some more details in. Let me see what you're saying. Oh, there's a lot of messages here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, and okay, yeah, sorry, I should have read one more message and that'll be good. I'd much rather paint creatures or characters. You know, again, whatever it is that inspires you is exactly the thing you should paint. So yeah, that's definitely what I would do. I just go for that. Yeah, go outside, look at whatever inspires you, or inside, you know, whatever inspires you is a good one. Stephanie, so lovely to see the family. Thank you, our Peter cute baby. Anna, but I don't want to paint any of the things. Yeah, exactly. Just find the things you do want, and not to painting nature or fruit. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like I'm not really into florals as much. They don't inspire me. And when something doesn't inspire me, I tend to produce not a good result. So, yeah, I get it. I know it's possible to be creative. I'm wondering if it's wise to use watercolor specifically. Everyone wants to push me towards nature and still life. Okay. Yeah, you know, this is no one can decide for you. If you enjoy watercolor, use watercolor. But if you don't for a second think you shouldn't. You should. You don't have to, you know, use any media, really. That's the main thing I would say. You know, sometimes it is a bit about trial and error because you need to find the media that works best for you. Sometimes that's the case. And if that's where you're at, that's fine. You know, maybe you should go through that. But if you are already finding that you enjoy watercolor, for example, I just stick to that. Now I need to increase the saturation here down on this entire thing. So I'm going to cover it with another layer of paint, keeping it quite light. What I care more about is not really the value, more the color. And I'll often do that, again, for a more slow, meticulous process, which is how most of my large, really dedicated, polished paintings go. That's how I paint them. And I know it looks pretty strong. It will dry a little weaker because this is quite wet. And then let's just go ahead while we're at it and start establishing these darks here to the side. So this goes like that. This goes like this. And don't worry, I'm going to really blend these out because there's a lot of interesting things going on here with the reflections. Actually, really interesting things. Again, this could be an interesting subject in and of itself, just the bottle. I recognize a lot of interesting things there. But I do want to cap it off properly, so that's the cap. Cap should be darker. And then this transition should be softer. Same as this. Okay, that's good. Let's let it sit for a couple of moments. I know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to glaze it in a second. I think it will benefit from just a thin yellow glaze. Let's see. Let's do that. I think here, all of this, see? I had a feeling it will look good. And it ended up, I think, looking really good. Zam, hi Liron, she's lovely. You have an adorable family. Thank you so much. Oh, you can see, use your creativity. Then if it's about creatures, the good thing about them is that you aren't really constrained by anything. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you, Liron. It's one of the reasons I didn't buy your course yet. I don't want to paint fruit and such, but maybe I'll have to. No, you don't. You don't have to. Just paint what you want. You'll kind of naturally seek the tools that you need to do the job, whether it's my course or just tons of YouTube videos. Cubs, Wayne, I'm surprised you went dark so quickly before lights. Yes, I had to. I don't know, something in me wanted to paint it this way. Alicia, I think watercolor can be its own subject. Yeah, that's true. It's such an interesting medium because it's hard to control, but can be so lovely when you give up control and just get to know it. Yes. The more you paint, the more you'll understand your taste. That is true as well. Yeah, that's really true. That's definitely something that's been happening over the last couple of years for me. Marjorie, I remember when Theo had his first child and he did so many quick paintings of her. What a lovely thing to look back on. I wish I had with mine. They grow so fast. No, it's great. Great grands. Okay, cool. No, that's great. That is great. That's a gift. Like, I wish my grandparents would be here to meet her. May's grandma is thankfully alive, and it's a really fun experience. I wanted to say something else about this, but I don't remember. Tiny Face McGee. Oh, yeah, I have a picture of her that I do want to paint. Tiny Face McGee, my favorite painting of yours is those propane tanks, and that's not the typical beautiful subject. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I know, that's cool. That's cool. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have any specific questions. You know, you'll get it. It's just about seeking the tools that will help you. There's this guy, what's his name? Something Duff here on YouTube. I'm so bad with names. He does a lot of creatures design, things like that. But it's more digital, I think. Katie Rourke, yeah, I'm actually catching a live. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Happy you made it. Chat jumped on me, sorry. I get it, Marjorie, no worries. I know, he's alive and kicking. And I bought a mixed media sketchbook so I don't have to feel the pressure of the expensive papers. That's smart. That's good paper, actually. It's pretty decent for the price, too. Moscow Cowboy, happy Thanksgiving from Jacksonville, Florida. Awesome. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. K-Art, thank you. Yeah, no, I think the paper is fine. Trailer Treasure. I think you can get quite a lot done with non-cotton paper as well. It's just a different experience, I would say. Liron, it's amazing you can get pure hues with that palette. Yeah, you know, they're not pure, first off. They're messy, too. But yeah, it's not really a problem. You just have to squeeze through the pen enough. Marjorie, kitchen appliance for subjects. Anything can be. When tubing for, I don't know what tubing, you probably an autocorrect. For our teacher, I had students draw from a hat, a room, and for homework, they were to draw anything from that room as homework. Yeah, that's cool. That's the most mundane subjects work really well. Moscow Cowboy, we just put our turkey in the oven. It's covered with herb-infused butter. Oh, that's nice. Then slathered in spicy garlic rub. I feel like getting a pizza, honestly, reading this, the garlic thing. So Holly, hey, hope you're doing well. Oxetically, hey, hope you're doing well too. Hope everything is well with you. And thank you so much for supporting my work. Really appreciate it. I want to get painting atmosphere, industrial sci-fi watercolors. That's cool. Let's see. Let's push this a bit further along, and then we'll wrap up the painting process. Then I can do some more of the chats. So I'm going to do another layer on top of the microwave because it should be darker, as you can see. It's sometimes very difficult to get these things right the first time. Now, I quite like what it looks, so I don't want to overdo it. It's just going to be an extra layer above what's already there. That's what I'm aiming for. As you can see here, it's gonna make it look more glass-like. I can go a little darker here on the, what do you call it? I don't know, like a dashboard thing. So that's good. Next, we do need to darken this shadow. It's quite important. So I'm gonna start with a warm, dark warm color and see where that takes us. So this is going to be it. And then once it pops from the side here, I'll mix a larger quantity, but it's still going to be quite a similar color, I think. A bit of all primary colors just to get this color exactly the way I want it to look. You know, had I printed this, I'd probably have a bit of an easier time to match the colors I'm seeing, but I think I'm quite close. So we'll go with that, because this shadow does need to go stronger. Kind of painted outside the lines here, which is fine. I can rectify that like so. And this is a good opportunity to continue with this shadow down here around. And then I can just come back with really strong paint and paint the handle, which we haven't painted yet. Kind of wet and wet, see? Just letting it do its thing. I could do this bar same way. I'll just have to be a little careful with the timing, probably. I don't want it to spread out too much. There we go. So that already gives it more depth. And I'm going to use this opportunity where things are still kind of wet to paint the tiles in the shadow. So that's always fun. So it's going to be something like this, I guess. Something like this. Something like this. And then I'm going to continue it outside of the shadow as well, but very loose. Not really, I don't really have a need to state that it's here. But you see, it gives it this, it feels more like a wall, right? And then same goes here. I haven't left any highlights which I could have, but that's fine. And then this goes up all the way to here. And it starts to ground it, right? Starts to ground it in reality. Then we have a couple of dark details here. There's this, I don't know what it is exactly. It's the structure of the microwave. This line goes here, and then it's reflected, so that's neat, like this. This is the door, I guess, of the microwave. There we go. Bit of this here. Oh, there's another line I kind of missed, so let's see. Hopefully it's not too late. It's this. There we go, and probably another one up there. And yeah, this looks almost dark enough, so I don't want to mess around with it too much. I'll just add a bit of that kind of dark line here. Maybe a bit of a dark line there. And yeah, you know, this one's kind of finished, I think. I kind of like it. I could lift here. It will be a little crazy, but let's see if we manage to do that. I don't lift a lot, generally speaking, but sometimes the potential for it looking good is there, so why not? So this area right here should be lighter. So I can just kind of wet it a bit, and then come back with some tissue or whatever, and help it kind of lift up like this. And we'll do this a couple more times. And let's see if we can get this area right here to be a little lighter. Sometimes you just use opaque paint and you're good. Sometimes it is beneficial to do it this way because you end up with a softer result. I don't know exactly why that happens. Now let's see, maybe I won't be able to do that, but it's worth trying. I see it's happening very slowly, so I'm going to keep going. You can even leave the water for a couple of moments. Ideally, I should have done this as soon as I lay down this wash, of course. That's fine. And, you know, just a bit. Just a bit. That's all we need here. And yeah, I think this one's almost done. What else do I want here? There are some details within the toaster oven that maybe are worth getting. So I do see this, and then we have the kind of shelves inside it. And then this lower section is just dark. And within the shadow, I can just kind of start painting vague details and seeing what looks good. Oh, baby cries. And then this goes a little darker. And you see, with just a few of these almost abstract details and setup, it can end up looking really good. I think I picked up a hair here. I'll have to be careful. Let's see. Let's make this a bit of a stronger contrast. Yeah, so you see, this one really inspired me more, I think. Somehow, it ended up working a little better than the previous one, even though I like the previous one a lot. This goes here. This should be a little darker, I guess. Of course, again, if I were to do something a little more thought out, a little more dedicated, there's a lot you can do to be more accurate and maintain, you know, the more of the details of the scene, for sure. That's really not what we're doing today. We're seeing how far we can simplify it, right? And yeah, I think we're almost at a great point to stop. Maybe we'll just do a couple of more. You know how it goes. You're like, yeah, I'll stop, and then a couple of more details. I think this kind of looks good, where it's half dark, half mid value. Oh, there's shadows here. I completely forgot. These cast shadows. So let's get those. I completely forgot about those. They're quite important, actually. So here's a shadow. I'll be back with the chat in a few. Sorry about that. Shadow, shadow, and another shadow. Once these shadows dry, they're going to make a lot more sense. And you know what? Just for fun, do I have this tube out here? I can just improvise. So let me show you what I mean by improvising. We're gonna get this designer's gouache. I'm gonna place some of it here in the corner, and I'm gonna bring in some of this blue as well, so that we can maybe get the text on the microwave, the numbers, the clock text. It doesn't have to be fully blue. Oh, it's 2255. That's a cool, I just now noticed. That's a cool hour. But I'm going to keep the hour vague because, you know, there we go. So that's the display. And if I were to bring more gray into it, it would look more like this, but this won't be visible. So I need more of the white paint. There we go. Few of the options here on the microwave, defrost, etc., etc. This here goes a little lighter. And there's the logo right here. See, it starts to look like a reflective surface in a way. This is too strong. I'll come back with some water. This here. It doesn't need to be this strong. I can just kind of, there we go, get rid of it. And yeah, we got the display on the microwave. We can get also the display on the toaster. You know, the toaster oven. Brand names, very important to show in our painting. So there we go. Like so. Bit of a tray thing going on here. A few of these details that I kind of just skipped, honestly. This is cool. You can put a shadow in like this, and then you can just put a highlight above it, like this, and it will read as, you know, holes or whatever that is. See? These dents. These have a highlight next to them too, so that's a nice thing to get. This could also be kind of a highlight. This could also be kind of a highlight. There's a thin, long thing going on here. But you know what? I like this one. I'm going to sign it. And we'll call it done. I really like this one. It has a lot of character, that's for sure, undeniable. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed these two processes. Both are really cool, I think. This one, just on an emotional level, just connected better for me than the previous one, though the previous one is quite nice too. And you'll notice the color scheme is quite similar between the two. I have the most original autograph ever. Signature. There we go. So these are the two paintings we worked on. Let me get rid of the palette here. I never have enough desk room. And we can get rid of the reference photo here. So we can see just the paintings. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that was a fun demo. And now, let's see what you're saying. So yeah, Moscow Cowboy, you said I want to get into painting atmospheric industrial sci-fi watercolors. This is cool. Not a lot of these around, so you'll definitely be unique. That's for sure. Let's see. Katie, people want me to paint their dogs, but I'm not particularly inspired by it. I find it difficult to do. I've got two ordered, and every time I sit to paint them, I become dull. Yeah, I get it. You know, this is a balance. Sometimes you need to make money, so you take these commissions, and that's fine. You know, you set yourself some time. What I found is and I rarely do work I don't like, but when I do, when I come back to painting something I like, even like these paintings, it's so fun and freeing. It's just the magic is there. It's on a different level, and it just comes, you know. Ryan, hey, how are you doing? Hey, for example, I'm better at drawing with charcoal, but I really love watercolor. It's just there is a higher learning curve. Charcoal is much more forgiving. Yeah, and I think it's more accessible, you know, black and white. You can just go for it. By the way, I have a good reference photo for you pertaining to what you're doing today, but I haven't sent it because I want to figure it out before I see you show how to do it. Cool, cool. Thank you so much, Ryan. Sabrina, I often hear that we should not use black watercolor, but there are so much different black watercolors to buy. Do you know why? Are they mostly used for mixing or diluted as grays? Yeah, I think it is useful to have darks, to have black color. Look at this, like mixing this really black color fast. It would take time, and I was able to just swoosh it in, and it looks really good. And the timing with the wet background there works really well. So I do think they have a lot of value. You know, that's just an arbitrary rule that you shouldn't use a black color. Let's see if I can soften this. Who knows? It should have been softer and more kind of loose edged, but that's fine. So yeah, the reason there are so many pigments in general is just marketing. It's just mostly it's a marketing ploy. You know, I could make use of any dark color pretty much to paint monochromatically, and I would have a great time. But the fact that there are so many colors is just a scam in the sense of the word. They're just trying to sell you more pigments, and people love collecting these, and that's just what happens, you know. So yeah, nothing wrong with collecting pigments, and if you enjoy them, you know, if you find use for them, that's great. That's why there are so many. But you saw me here using tons of black colors, and it works really well. Yeah, Zorn indeed used a lot of black. Fehu, hey everyone, hey, thank you for being here. Beginners use it in place of shadows, which make the painting unrealistic as shadows aren't pure black. Yeah, that's true. I use it all the time and mix it with other colors to make it look right. That's a great point, actually. Clarissa, hello from Puerto Rico. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Thank you for being here, Clarissa. I'm from the Middle East. Cool. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I just see letters that I don't know how to pronounce. So my apologies. And you know what? We can switch over to the other camera, and I can show these to you. Just, I think we should be able to do that. Or you know what? I'm not sure. I never switched between the two live. I'm streaming it with a bit of a different setup. You know what? Let me try. Let me see here. Settings, camera, Logitech. Yeah, we're good. This should work. So here we are. Now I can highlight your comments, and we can look at the results here as well. So hope you enjoyed these. So let's do some chat catch up. There we go. I have my new desk, so that's nice too. Where were we? And I can scan these in a couple of moments if you want to see them on the screen as we chat. I can definitely do that. Yes, so I don't know how to pronounce your name, so my apologies. Thank you, Sabrina, for being here, by the way. And I'm actually quite attracted to painting metal. Used to enjoy that a lot when I painted digitally, so maybe I'll conjure up some nice armors. Yes, I love metal. You know, the strong contrast, lights, darks, and so on. Absolutely like it. I just now figured I could probably place this here on the desk and bring it in as an additional camera. Let me see if this will work. So you can see both me and the paintings. Present extra camera. No, I can't. Crap, I can't. It's okay. It's fine. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, wait, I know how I can do that. Wait, stop virtual camera. Wait a second. I know how to do that. Extra camera. Of course I know how to do that. Share. There we go. Add to stage. Done. You see both me and the paintings. The paintings are a little dull because my camera coming through here directly is a little dull. So my apologies about that. But at least you see them. So yeah, I absolutely love these transitions from light to dark to, you know, all over the place. That's something I really enjoy. Okay. Arpita, one of my neighbor aunties stole my artwork for her daughter and said her daughter drew that. That's ridiculous. Oh my, I'm sorry to hear. Was it like a major thing you made? Because that would suck badly. So sorry to hear. Yeah, that is wild. The Night Feeling subreddit. Ooh, that's cool. I'm gonna check it out. I love weird, obscure subreddits. The Night Feeling Reddit. I will check that out. Ebenezer, Eben from Ghana, wondering if you can demonstrate how to paint a figure with watercolor. Yes, I actually have a bit. So if you look into my last live stream over on Proco's channel, you can see me demonstrating a back. So if that's the kind of thing you meant, that would be wonderful for you. I do have plans for an exclusive painting process for Patreon. That's going to be another kind of back study in portrait. But yeah, I could definitely do more. I barely do any figurative, but here's the one. Live stream on Proco. I sent it in the chat, Ebenezer. So you can check that out. The first demo is a back. It's not a full figure, but yeah, it's better than nothing for now. You can try painting different medieval helmets. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Pablo. Hi from Argentina. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while, right? So it's been a while since I did a painting demo, so it makes sense. Thank you so much. Marjorie, a good set of lungs on that little one. Yes, that's true. Thankfully. Trailer Treasure. I'll have to catch the replay. Thank you so much for your videos. I learn so much every time. Yeah, thank you. You've spent quite some time here. Thank you so much. Nothing is more satisfying than putting in the final highlights and spectacular. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is. It is the most satisfying thing. Until you mess up those little. Yeah, it's very hard to mess these up. I noticed. Kabzoon, what brush are you using for the highlights? Yeah, I think that one is. Let me check. Make sure. So I used this one today. Yeah, this is one of my Lebenson brushes, and you know what? I don't have the thing on it out of wear and tear. I don't have the sticker that says which one it is, but what I could tell you, it's about 1/2 inch, and it's a rigger brush. So if you go on Lebenson paint brushes, you'll find it. It has 3 stripes usually on the top part, and that's how you find it. And I believe my coupon code should still work, Liron, to get a discount. So if you end up getting it. But yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know the specific model. I could try looking for it, maybe. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Should not be doing this live, but I always end up doing these things live. Brushes. Let's see, I'm curious now. Yeah, I'll do it later. It's too much of a variety. Ryan, Liron, just noticed today you're wearing an Apple Watch. Is it new? Do you use English or Hebrew characters? Anyway, I pegged you as an Android person, but maybe I was wrong. Yeah, you were totally wrong, Ryan. I have a Mac. I have an iPhone. Sorry, I need to just real quick possibly take this call. But yeah, I'm an iPhone guy. Sorry to disappoint. I have this since April, since my last birthday. I actually got it as a gift from May, so now I have this wonderful watch for a while now. But yeah. מה קורה? כן, אני בלייב, אבל אני עוד מעט מסיים. אבל כן. לדעתי כן, אני לא יודע מה היא עושה, אני לא יודע מה קורה עם התינוקת, אבל לדעתי כן. ביי. Sorry about that. You did get to hear me speak a bit of Hebrew, if that's an entertaining thing for you. But yeah, I use, so I have to use Hebrew letters for, taxes, stuff like that, bookkeeping, boring stuff. But most of my online life I spend in English. But yeah, I have both on and of course, to talk to people, Hebrew. So I have both on all of my devices pretty much. I mean, my watch, I don't do anything with the watch other than track my sleep and working out, stuff like that. I don't have notifications here for almost anything because I don't need the constant, thing buzzing at me. But yeah, on my phone, both, on most of my devices, both. Yes. And it's super annoying because it's right to left, left to right. It's always a mess. They never really got it to work out intuitively to this day, let's just say. Sonat, love from India. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Sabrina, Dwayne, thank you so much. As mainly a graphite artist, my highlights are usually by eraser, so I can always fix. Yeah, graphite is it's a different story. Yeah. I like malleable media. It's fun. So that's how you maintain transparency in watercolor painting. I honestly don't. Very often my paintings end up being quite opaque and non-transparent. Now, if they feel transparent to you, then cool. Maybe they are, and it's hard for me to say, but it's not something I try to do. I'm not really the kind of paint super light colors and just keep the paper showing through the paint. I use opaque paints all the time. So yeah. Star Wars ships. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I used to have as a kid a Star Wars Lego, like a big one. I think it was the Millennium Falcon. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure though. I don't remember what it looked like. I remember what the Millennium Falcon looks like. I just don't remember what my Lego set looked like. But yeah, I love these. Marjorie, anyone that hasn't been watching you through the years should go back and watch your YouTubes from years ago. It will be inspirational. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. If you go over to the channel and you filter by oldest, you'll see some stuff. Yeah, I've improved, says. Thank you, Marjorie. Yeah, and that's what I kind of set out to do here, so that everyone can go ahead and look and see what what growth looks like over the years. Yeah, definitely. Little Pure Water. Does anyone in here have any tips on to stop overthinking when drawing? I'm a beginner, just started 1 week ago. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will share what's on their mind. To me, it's just about what are you thinking about and why are you thinking about it? Why does it stay in your mind, right? That's, I think, the first step to really examine what's there. But yeah, it's a big topic for sure. Usually when I paint something, that's what I'll say. When I paint something I love, and when I use watercolor, it's very hard for me to think about things just because I enjoy it so much. So sometimes it could be just an issue of maybe you're forcing yourself to do something you don't enjoy. That could also be it. So that's something you may want to think about. Karen, I'm 15 and I'm thinking of being a professional artist, but I sometimes doubt that it's possible for me to make space for myself in this art world. I'll never say that something is impossible. Statistically, it's unlikely, but it's not about statistics. It's about you, and you know yourself, and you know what you're good at. So that would be a question for you, right? I've studied a bit of trading, and I'm doing it. I'm doing a trading experiment. I've been doing it for almost probably over 6 months now, and I'm not good at it. I don't have it naturally in me. Statistically, most traders lose money, and that's fine. I put in something I'm willing to lose, like a very small amount. So statistically, I'm definitely going to lose money. And so far, I'm not making any. Sometimes I break even, sometimes I lose, sometimes it's all over the place. So it's just not something I think I'm gifted at. Now, will I be able to crank it at some point? Maybe. Yeah, sure. Could be. As for painting, it's always something that has been ROI, let's say, return on investment positive for me, because it's something that probably comes more naturally to me, and it appeals to me more. So I ended up developing it. That's the main thing. I enjoy it so much that it made me obsess over it. That's the thing. But statistically, yes, most people will not make it as an artist. But statistics means nothing. You need to know yourself and figure that out. Now, I do want to go for a second, and because I wasn't able to do that, thank you so much. I'll be brief. I think now I got it. Thank you so much for the super chat, and Dwayne, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I couldn't highlight it earlier because I was painting, but I wanted to make sure I highlight them. So thank you so much. But yeah, where was I? The chat sometimes likes to jump on you. Aesthetically, collecting things is also a hobby. Yes, we're both some kind of I think collectors. I enjoy collecting Pokemon cards. To this day, I still collect them. I manage my collection. I don't purchase as much lately, but yeah. And you're also a collector, for sure. Zam, that bottle turned out very well. Thank you so much. Yeah, and here it is. You can see it right here. I think it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty loyal to the source, I guess. Clarissa, I really enjoyed. Beautiful. Thank you so much. My name is in Russian. It's unrelated, but my actual name is Haitham. Okay, cool. Haitham. Okay, so the letters in Russian is just not even your name. It's something else. Okay, cool. I'll try and remember, but I'm really bad at it, so apologies. Or is it Haitham? I'm not sure. Haitham or Haitham. Wasn't there a Haitham character in Assassin's Creed 3? Yes, there was. It's a different spelling. Haitham Kenway, yeah. It's probably a different origin of the name too, but I remembered something similar, something rang similar to me, though I'm sure it's a completely different source. But yeah, Moscow Cowboy, maybe you, yeah. Okay, so that's what the username means. Anthony, good morning from the US West Coast. These look great. I look forward to rewatching the VOD. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Scurvy Artist. Little pure watercolor. Get a sketchbook and draw it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Ryan, Liron, also check out Brutalism, like different obscure subreddits. I mean, do I want to check that out? I'm not sure I want to. Friendly, please. Okay, so it's actually a building. Oh my, that's terrible. Brutalism that's a type of architecture. Okay, that's strange. Okay, I'll look into that. I have it on a separate tab. Every live stream ends when I have like 10 tabs that are completely unrelated to painting. Colin Prott, I'm trying to follow you on Instagram, but you are private. How often do you look at Instagram? No, I am not private on Instagram. That's the wrong user. And I would be curious to see what that is. So you need to type Liron, Liron, YAN, and then IL at the end. And then you'll find me. I'm definitely not private. Maybe there's a different Lironian. I remember there was a Lironian user that I really wanted to have, but I couldn't. It was unavailable. So yeah. But no, I'm definitely not private. So test it out again, and you should be able to follow me. And thank you so much. Jansar, thank you so much for the live stream, Liron. I'm doing the last minute cooking and getting ready to go to my son's for the day and enjoying watching. Blessings to your beautiful family. Thank you so much. Blessings to you too. Enjoy your holiday. We're gonna wrap it up soon. I'll just finish up with the chats. Sorry, not super chats, and we'll wrap it up too. But yeah, definitely. I hope everyone's having a nice time with the holidays and that it's not too intense with events. Clarissa, are you trying to paint glass? Because you did a wonderful job to painting metal. Yeah, I have this thing where I painted. You can see glass in the scene. So this is a painting I shared a while ago, and there is glass right here. It's an actual glass of water. So yeah, I think I'm. By the way, sorry, this light that I usually turn on, I just don't have it here. So because I installed this new desk. But it will be back. I will reinstall it, and you'll see me better. But yeah, I have tried. I have a couple of glass paintings, and I like it. I like it a lot. It has this similar vibe to what you see here, the toaster oven. That's a glass. It reflects, and the microwave as well. It's more opaque glass, but it is glass. So you do get a similar effect to what I have here. Stephanie, please thank your family for saying hello. I was going to ask how they were doing, but wasn't sure if that was appropriate here. They read in my mind. Cool, cool. Yes, they're doing really well. Thank God. Knock on wood, everything is good. Thank you. I will. Moscow Cowboy, I was watching one of your master reviews from 5 years ago when I caught the stream. Oh, cool. So you got it in the related thing. Which one was it, by the way? I'm curious. You can be an artist and also have a career in something else. Also true, by the way. Yes, I wouldn't necessarily just start out the gate with just that, unless you're crazy like me and you're young and you can kind of do it. But I worked for a company for a while too, just to build myself up a bit. Having an education in science, biology, engineering will lend itself to artwork and give you an education. Yeah, to some extent. I think for some it could be useful for their art too. Let's see. No, I use Apple and Mac as well, so I wasn't disappointed. Oh yeah, cool. No, I was just kidding about the disappointing. I know you weren't disappointed. Let's see. It's so obscure. I love brutalism. Yeah, it's the first time I hear about it. I love the painting process. Love from India. Thank you, Sridhar. Much appreciated. Laura, time for me to head out. Really enjoyed watching you paint live again, Liron. Looking forward to the next video. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. Enjoy your week, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much, Laura. And by the way, I'm going to upload the scans later on Instagram, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. You'll see the colors in their pure, higher quality. I think you'll like it. Sorry, I can't read this. There's a lot of, I think it's Russian. There's a lot of Russian-speaking people here, and it would be very useful for me to be able to speak it and read it, by the way. Marjorie, enough snow so the plows are going past my house, sending snow all over and piling it up at the end of my drive. Oh, that's not nice. Something we never have to deal with here because it almost never snows here. I kind of wish that it would snow once in a while. Wordlist architecture was a solution to the housing problem in the Soviet Union. Yes, yes, I kind of got it from the couple of pictures I saw. I saw a lot of it in Ukraine, actually. For me personally, it's a reminder of the environment I'm in, and when you're struggling, you find the beauty in it sometimes. Yeah, that's also true, for sure. I find it super depressing as a building, but for sure it could be wonderful inspiration for for art in general. Clarissa looks amazing, this glass table. Yeah, the table itself isn't glass. It's just a wooden table, I think. But the glass of water is glass. But yeah, I think this is a good point to wrap it up. It's been a really fun stream. More people than usual, as expected when I paint. I know there's more people. Sometimes I'm too lazy and I'm like, yeah, we'll just do a chat stream. But I do enjoy painting once in a while for sure. Here's what we've had today. Thank you so much to all who were here. You got a sneak peek of the baby too, so that was hopefully a nice bonus. And here's the other one we did. If you missed it, it's going to be up on the channel. Enjoy it. I'll upload high-quality scans of these, and you'll see the full color. I think it's really, really nice. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a happy holidays, whoever is celebrating. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your time with the family. Definitely a lot to appreciate just in life. So, hopefully you're doing well. If not family, maybe friends, whatever it is. Really appreciate you being here. Yulia, thank you so much for being here too. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll talk to you again soon. There's going to be, again, a major video dropping on Saturday. So check that out for sure. And if you want to support my work, by the way, check out my book on Amazon. I think it should be in the description box. The Painting a Masterpiece book. I think you'll enjoy it if you want to own my art. Over 100 paintings of mine. Would really appreciate if you get it. If you know someone who enjoys art and watercolor in particular, could be a wonderful gift. So yeah, it's a bit maybe late for holiday shopping. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But Amazon is fast, so you can get it real fast too. So I'll probably put a link in the description box as well. And if not, just search for Liron on Amazon, Painting a Masterpiece. You'll find it. Thank you so much. Also watching Doom. Okay, cool. Doom or Dune? I'm not sure. Doom has a film too, right? It's not just a video game. But yeah, really appreciate you being here. We'll talk again soon. Take care.